plan the year. Are you using a 411? Do you know what a 411 is? Do you know where to find it? If you don't know what it is, it's on KW Connect. All you've got to do is go into KW Connect and in the search bar, type in 411. Clarissa's hand is up. I love that. And you will find tons of tools for you to use, templates that you can create your own personal 411. And I would highly encourage you, if you're not using one, start using one today. I've been a part of this company now for 19 years. And I can still remember 19 years ago sitting in a mastermind with Gary Keller and the top agents in this company. And at that time, Gary Keller's top mastermind group consisted of about 50 agents. Now, Gary and Nikki Baldini happened to be a part of that group, so I had the honor of being in that room. And Gary Keller was talking to us about using a 411 to plan the year, and then plan the month, and then plan each week. So what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to create a 411. We're also going to talk about why that's important. And I'm going to get into a couple different models of lead generation when we talk about planning your week. And I realize as I'm looking at the screen that some of this is easy to see and some of it isn't. So I'm going to move in and move out as much as possible. Pray for me that I don't spill my coffee doing that because it's bouncing all over the place. What a great idea, Clarissa. You never want to be the smartest person in the room. All right, so I'm going to start with the year. When I'm creating a 411, my question is, what are my goals for the year? And I'm going to give you 3 simple goals that I would use if I were creating a 411 for 2022. Now let's start with, I want to close 48 sales. Now, when we get into the weeks and we start tracking the activities that we need to do in order to achieve the goal, if your goal is 96, just double the numbers when we're talking about the activities that lead to results. If your goal is 24, just cut them in half. And if your goal is 12, just multiply by 25% and you're still going to come up with the answer that you're looking for. So 48 is a good starting point because all we have to do is math in order to get to the end result. True? Yeah. Now, my next goal is 24 seller listings. And then my last goal is 48 listing appointments. And those are my 3 goals. I don't need to have 10 goals in this column. 1 is enough. Now, if I were going to choose 1, it would not be close 48 sales. It would be take 24 seller listings. That would be the 1. Now, the next step, this doesn't change all year long, by the way. This is the only box in a 411 that stays the same all year long. The next step is month 1, January. Well, 48 divided by 12 is close for sales, but I'm not going to focus on that. I'm only going to focus on seller listings and seller listing appointments. So 24 divided by 12 is 2. I'm going to take 2 seller listings in January. Now, if I take 1 seller listing in January, what's the goal for February? 3. You got it. So you're adjusting your goals as you go based on how you did the previous month. And when we get down here, you're adjusting your goals in week 2 based on how you did in week 1. Is this making sense so far? Mm-hmm. You guys let me know if I'm going too fast or too slow, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, 2 seller listings is my goal in January, and for listing appointments. Now, Gary says on page 133 of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent at the very top of the book, he says, once you know how many appointments you must have, I need 4 seller listing appointments in January in order to go on 48 listing appointments for the year, in order to take 2 seller listings in January and 24 seller listings for the year. Once you know how many appointments you must have, you now have to generate the leads necessary to generate those appointments. Leads are fuel to your economic engine. So now what we're going to do when we get into the week is we're going to focus on lead generation activities. All of this is about lead generation activities. These are lag measures. These are lead measures. Lag measures are the results. Lead measures are the activities. Focus on lead measures, not lag measures, because you have control over whether or not you're going to hit all of your activities. You don't necessarily control whether or not you're going to hit your goals. But over time, when you hit the activities week after week after week after week, you will hit your goals. So far, so good, guys? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to scooch this. And I'm going to scooch this. Glad I moved that coffee. All right. Now, I could have a prospecting-based business, and one of the activities that I would have in my goals is 20 contacts. A contacts mean I had a conversation. It's a two-way conversation. It could be a phone call. It could be a face-to-face conversation. It can be door knocking and I'm speaking with somebody at the door, or it could be a text message or a Facebook messenger message, as long as it's two-way. Now, I can either build a prospecting-based business, or I could build a database-based business. I could build a business that's based on repeat and referral business. Or I could build a business that's prospecting based. Or better yet, I could do a combination of the two. Now let's focus on prospecting based first. I'm making 20 calls or 20 conversations, 250 days a year. That's working 50 weeks, 5 days a week. That means I have 2 weeks vacation time, and I'm going to have 5,000 conversations. Now I'm focused on circle prospecting, calling for sell-by owners, and calling expired listings. Those are my main 3 focuses. My goal is to add 1 face-to-face appointment every day. So down underneath my weekly goals, I would include go on at least 5 face-to-face appointments. It's an activity. It's not a goal, which means I'm not going to stop until somebody says, sure, John, come on over and take a look at my home. Check. Mission accomplished. So it's a standard to add 1 face-to-face appointment every day, which means in a year's time, how many face-to-face appointments am I adding? 250. So now I have 250 people in my pipeline, in my funnel. And now another activity, this table is acting weird. Another activity is I am going to follow up with this 250 people. I'm going to follow up with them forever. Forever. So another one of my weekly activities is follow up with everyone in my pipeline. I'm going to have an activity number for follow-up calls, and I'm going to hit that number. And following up until we get where? What do we call that? It's EP, stands for emotional proximity, which simply means no, not yet. 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 I'm glad you called. I was thinking about putting my house on the market. Why don't you come over and talk to me? And 250 people, if I'm using the math that I got, 20% will hire you, which means 50 seller listings. And our goal is 24. We just doubled our goal. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Success is simple. It really, truly is. Now, we doubled our goal because we had 20 conversations a day, activity. We went on 5 face-to-face appointments, activity. We followed up. With hit a number, 10 contacts. It could be 5, it could be 4, it could be 3, whatever it is, you pick a number and it's a standard. Another activity that I used and I would recommend you use is 5 personal notes a day or 25 a week. Another activity would be an open house. And I know I'm getting to the point where you can't even read this anymore, but that's okay. So my activity for the week is 20 conversations, go face-to-face with 5 people who are thinking of selling their home, or 5 appointments, have 1 open house, follow up with at least 10 people, and write 25 handwritten personal notes. Can I hit all of those goals 100% guaranteed? Say yes. Yes, it's a choice.
Yes.
It's a choice. You choose to hit it or you choose not to hit it. Now, the penalty for not hitting it is it moves to week 2, which means if I have 90 conversations and the goal is 20 a day or 100 for the week, then the following week it's 110. That number doesn't go away. I'll give you a better accountability tool. If you don't hit 100 conversations Monday through Friday, you get to work on Saturday. And you get to lead generate on Saturday because you didn't hit the standard Monday through Friday. That was my accountability tool. If you've ever seen me or heard me reference lead generation Saturday, it still exists for me today. It means I didn't hit my standards for the week. So now I get to lead generate on Saturday. Is this making sense, guys?
Yeah.
Now, the other lead generation strategy that you could follow is repeat and referral your business. And this is your DTD2, which is do the database 2. And we're focused on building a database. That means we're going to enter everybody we know into our sphere of influence, and then feeding that database every day means we're going to add at least 1 person a day or 250 people for the year into our new METs. And then we're going to communicate with our new METs using an 8x8 in order to create top of mind. So when they think of real estate, they think of you. And we're going to move those new METs into our sphere of influence, and we're going to communicate with them using a 36 touch. And these are care calls, not sales calls. We lead with gratitude. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate you. We bring value to every conversation. Care calls focus on family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. It's Ford. And before we hang up the phone, Natalie, just out of curiosity, who do you know that might be thinking of selling their home? So now going back to my 411, if I am running a repeat and referral based business, and In other words, I don't want to call them FSBOs and them expireds and circle prospecting. That ain't me. I'm going to build my real estate business another way. Cool. Focus on your database. Now the activities in your week are 20 conversations a day or 100 conversations a week. These are DTD2 conversations. They're care call conversations. Rather than popping by or meeting face-to-face with 5 people a week that are thinking of selling their home, it might be 5 pop-by visits, 1 a day with people who are in your database. Or maybe it's, Hervé, let's meet for coffee. I've got 30 minutes Tuesday. Can you meet me at Starbucks? Would 11 o'clock work or would 12 be better for you? And I'm having that one-to-one, face-to-face, forward conversation, building a relationship face-to-face with one person a day versus all of those conversations being on the phone. And I'm building a database, building relationships, focusing on the top of the funnel, not the bottom of the funnel. This, and they're both right, and they're both awesome. Running a prospecting-based business is focusing on the bottom of the funnel. Running a database business, repeat and referral business is focusing on the top of the funnel. You could do one or the other, or you could do both. And you can use your 411 to track your goals, regardless of which lead generation strategy you use. I'm going to go back and I'm going to share something with you that I shared a few moments ago, and then I'm going to ask you for questions and ahas. Once you know how many appointments you must have, you now have to generate the leads necessary to generate those appointments. So my appointment goal, in order to close 48 sales, is 48 listing appointments. Done. I know my appointment goal. Now it's my job to generate the leads in order to get those appointments. Okay, talk to me.
I have a question.
Simple? Too simple.
It is. But I have a question.
Do you believe it? Clarissa, I'm not going to make you ask the third time.
So when you talk about your new meds, circle prospecting, FSBOs, expireds in that funnel,
Mhm.
and you said those are at the bottom of your funnel.
Mhm.
In command, when you put them in command, does that go in your leads or does that go into, there's another selection?
Opportunities.
No, sales pipeline. So
Okay.
those go into sales pipeline.
Appointments go in sales pipeline.
All of your appointments
Go into sales pipeline.
but you may not necessarily get an appointment with door knocking. So if I go and door knock and I get the information, do they go in under the lead or do they go in under the sales pipeline?
It's a lead.
They go into the lead, but if I
100%.
get an appointment, that goes into pipeline.
That's 100% correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Does everybody know what I mean when I say focus on the top of the funnel versus the bottom of the funnel? Shake your hand, shake your heads, do this. Okay, all I needed was one no, and I'm going to explain it. All right, really pay attention to this because it's super important. And this marker is dead.
That's not a marker I bought. Why it's up there?
That's better. All right, there are 83 million homeowners in the United States. And in 2020 and 2020, whichever way you say that, there were approximately 5.2 million homes sold. Now you could do the math, and I'm pretty sure it's going to come out to approximately 6.7%. Most real estate agents are chasing the 5.2 million sales at the bottom of the funnel. For sale by owners, bottom of the funnel. Expired listings, bottom of the funnel. Circle prospecting, bottom of the funnel. Everything that's not focused on building relationships through your database is bottom of the funnel. The top of the funnel is your database. Those are all the relationships that you are building with friends, family members, people you know, and people you're adding to your database because you're feeding it every day. Your job is to make the database bigger every day to get this number for you as high as possible. Because for each of you, that same funnel exists. Now, your top of the funnel might be 100 people. 7% of 100 people is 7 sales. If you work your database effectively, DTD2, every single day, building relationships with these 100 people, at the end of the year, you should close 7 sales. Because 7% of them are going to move. And if you're building a relationship with them, you should be the real estate agent that earns that business. Now, your job is to feed your database every day. If you have a standard of 1 a day, that's plus 250. So a year from now, it's not 100, it's 350. Let's make it 300 because the math is easy. And 300 times 7% is 21 sales, focusing on the top of the funnel. Now, do you understand the difference?
Yes.
This book was written about focusing on the top of the funnel. There you go, my friend. Gary says, your database is your business. Your business is your database. Your database is your business. Your business is your database. Your database is your business. Your business is your database. And what's amazing is if you surveyed 100 realtors in production, successful real estate agents closing 20, 30, 40 sales a year, 100 sales a year, and you ask them, what database do you use? At least 90% would tell you they don't. Opportunity. All right. Victoria, your hand is up. Talk to me.
Yeah, I have used 411s and I've done GPSs and I really love, I've written down step by step for, I don't know, the 100th time. And I just want to thank you because it is so simple. And I feel that, and I'm going to put we and /I tend to put so much more into the 411 than we have to. We put all of our to-do lists into it as opposed to the simplicity of just what needs to be there, the 20%. And if you erase, you must replace, which is the Passover to the next day. And I think that's what really, it was the aha for me. That I remember Lee Rosa, he used to say, just get the 20% done and you have all that white space. You could be doing so much more. Why do you think, the big CEOs can do all this? Why do they have so much more time than we do?
Good question. Good job.
We all have 24 hours in a day, but they seem to have so much more time than we do.
This is so true, right? Yeah. If you have a copy of The Rainmaker, just go to the portion where we talk about time. It's a really interesting conversation on time because time is relative. What you think is time really isn't time. This whole nonsense about everybody has the same amount of time every day is exactly that. It's complete nonsense. It's not true. And I can prove it. But I'm going to make you buy my book in order to do that. All right, Shirley, talk to me.
So I want to get people to buy your book. It's
Thank you.
called Rainmaker.
Thank
And
you.
yesterday, because if lead generation is my job, and there is a book on, it's a blueprint for success at doing my job, why not just follow the blueprint?
Thank you for
So I
that.
started it on yesterday and building a database. So I actually, because at a minimum, it says 100 people into my database.
Mhm.
And I did a list. Where's my list? A list of 100 people. I'm not done. That I'm going to start in my database. So my goal this year is to follow the blueprint.
You're going to do it. It's 100%. And it's not a goal, it's an intention. You are going to do it. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. I do appreciate you. Kina, talk to us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
John, can you just please go over the chart behind you again, just quickly in regards to using your database, the one that's right behind you?
Well, there's three. So if we're talking about the database, I think you're referring to this one over here. Yes?
No, I'm referring to the funnel. I'm sorry,
Oh,
the funnel.
You got it. No worries. All right. So hold on a second. Are you referring to this funnel? Yes?
That funnel.
Okay. So here, let's start again. Now, if Alan ever wants to know why we spend so much money on office supplies, you guys just share with him. It's my fault. Because I rip through these whatever it's called. All right.
Okay.
At the top of your funnel is all of the relationships that live in your database. And if you have 100 people who are part of your sphere of influence, these are people you know who know you, like you, know that you're a real estate agent. And if they were going to sell a home, they would possibly hire you. Or if they knew somebody who was going to buy or sell a home, they would possibly refer you. Definition of sphere of influence. Now, your first job is to build your database. This is right from Millionaire Real Estate Agent. The next job is to feed it every day. And the standard, if you're following my lead generation formula, the standard is adding one new person a day or 250 haven't met into the top of the funnel over the next 12 months. So a year from now, you don't have 100 people in your sphere of influence. You have 350 people that you're communicating with using a 36 touch smart plan, creating repeat and referral business. And the path is in the math. Every business is nothing but a math equation. And the path in the math in this math equation is 7% will move in the next 12 months. So 350 times 7%, it's going to be approximately 24 sales. I did that in my head. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. But at the end of the year, you should have 24 sales. And that's just direct business with this group. It does not include any referrals. Kina, did that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
You got it. By the way, plug for education. This whole top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel conversation, I've been in this business for 19 years. I've been a part of Keller Williams for 19 years. And the very first time I heard the top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel conversation was last year's family reunion. First time.
Out of the office?
Family reunion. It was digital last year, but the first time I heard someone talk about this, bottom of the funnel, top of the funnel, was just last year. I've been doing this for 19 years. I never heard this before. And it made so much sense to me. I thought, that's genius. I'm stealing it. It's mine. All right, Vicky, go.
So I agree with everything that everyone's saying. I think the most important thing is you are bringing this to us at such a crucial time right now. We all have the opportunity to make this new year what we want and what we see our future to be. And it's exactly, what everyone's saying. I mean, you have to implement the system, and it's a simple system. You just need to feed your database. So you have to focus, you have to plant your seeds, get your motivation, your success will happen. You just have to make those care calls. You have to follow up, and you just have to prioritize and go forward. I mean, that's it. Get a GPS. This whole, where's your goal? Where do you want to be? What do you see yourself doing? When it's written down, it happens, but you have to do the work.
Love it. Good job, Vicky. I'm proud of you. Become a master of this book, guys, right? Just become a master of this book. If I said, if anybody can give me the 4 laws of the database right now, I'll give you $100. 4 laws of the database in order, all 4 like that.
Feed it, nurture it.
So you're wrong. You already, that buzzer sound that goes off when you get the question wrong. All right, here they are. Write them down. Build a database. Feed it every day. Communicate with it in a systematic way. Service all the leads that come your way. So, Aaron, my resident smartass in the room, asked if I could ask that question tomorrow. Haha. Yeah, and if you get it wrong, you owe me $100. How's that? I'm not giving you anything if you get it right. Build a database. Feed it every day. Communicate with your database in a systematic way. Service all the leads that come your way. It's so simple. You know what I heard the first time I heard that 19 years ago? Here's what I heard, blah, blah, blah. It made no sense to me whatsoever. And the reason it made no sense to me was because it was just too simple. It really is this simple. It really, truly is. Now, it doesn't mean that it leads to immediate results, because it doesn't. Neither does anything else in life worth having.
Hey, John, I just thought of something.
Yes.
Because you were talking about the whole DTD2 system. I think everybody's got a database. I think we should all challenge ourselves before the end of this year to do a bold 100.
Like it. Yeah, you got 3 days left.
I think before this year is up, make bold 100 like your goal, because that's going to set you, just running in 2022.
Yeah,
we can do it.
You've got 3 days, today, Thursday, and Friday.
And listen, you don't have to sit down, like you said, just like section it off. Do like door knocking, contact people on social media, make phone calls, but literally make it happen. And yeah, it takes some time, but you know what?
Why not?
It's awesome.
Why not?
Awesome.
Why not? I've said this before. What could you do if you had to? If I told you you had to schedule a listing appointment today, you had to. Your life is dependent on it. Someone you love's life is dependent on it. I mean, it's absolutely urgent. Every single one of you could. Every single one of you would. Hey, Maddie, your duck made my Facebook page. I don't know if you saw that or not, but
I did not.
you're,
Oh, I have to go back and check. I missed that one.
yes, well, you're there as well. But
Oh.
yes, yeah, yes, my little lead generating duck. I love it. Yes.
Oh, so cute. I'm glad.
Ducks
Merry
get
Christmas,
this.
Huh?
Ducks get this. You know, they don't need a 411 either. Can you imagine the ducks? Hey, where's your 411? I want to see your, no, I'm just going to go quack. I'm going to quack until somebody
Quack.
feeds me. That's just that simple. I'm going to quack until somebody feeds me. Well, Vicky told you, she put it out there for you. Just go quack until you get a listing appointment. It's just that simple. Now, if you're knocking on doors, I don't recommend when they open the door that you go quack, quack. Not a good idea. You know what, Aaron, you're right. It would start a conversation. All right, time to get to work. What's work? Work is 20 conversations. Work is 20 care call conversations. Lead with gratitude. Focus on building a relationship. Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate you. By the way, Happy New Year. And what's planned for 2022? What you got going on? What are your goals? There's a duck. It's calling you right now. Answer that. It's a listing appointment. It's care call conversations. How's your family? How's work? What can I do to help? If there was something I can do, what would it be? That's it today, guys. That's all there is. There is nothing else. 20 care call conversation. That's work. Call everybody you know, wish them happy holidays, wish them a happy 2022. Ask them what their goals are and ask them what you can do to help support those goals. Bless you. Make it a great day, everybody.
Thank you, John.
My pleasure, always.
Thank you, John.
Always my pleasure.